Well, hello everybody, this is Robert from Black Belt Gaming. I had a chance to pick up, well, basically the last board game to complete my collection. Dungeons & Dragons Conquest of Nerath. Nerath. Anyway, I'm going to give it a try and see what it plays like. Well, as you can see here, it's a pretty big board with a lot of different pieces on it, and then down here I have my cards and gold, but don't worry, I'm going to be zooming in on the action as usual, so you can see what's going on. Well, let's play a few rounds and see how this works. Well, evidently this Dark Empire of Karkoth, the undead army, goes first. On this main card we can see the turn order. The undead army goes first, and our first part of the sequence of play is to draw an event card from your deck. Here's your deck. I haven't really shuffled this yet, so I'm just going to pull out a random card from the middle. And let's take a look and see what it says. Dragon Plague. You play this at the start of a battle. Each enemy dragon in a battle takes 1 damage. Deadly diseases from Karkoth claim even the mighty. Alright, so I have to hold on to this one for now. Well, the next thing we do here is we can move pieces. We can move any of our little miniatures that we want to move. And some of them have different movement rates than others. Here's another card that came with the game called a piece summary, and you can see here the different kinds of units and what areas they can cover and how much it costs to buy a new one, what dice they use for attacking, and here's their movement, how many spaces they can move. And then over here are a few special abilities. So let's start moving some things around. Well, I believe this one over here is the capital city of the undead army. So we're going to zoom out a little bit again and start moving some pieces around. Down below us here are the elven lands, and I think we're going to move some of our pieces down. So if we move these two, each one of these kind of figures, a foot soldier and a siege engine. Let's close in on those pieces so you can see them a little better. This is a foot soldier. It's a skeleton, well, a skeleton warrior. And then over here we have a siege engine. We'll have both of those figures move down and attack this lone elven foot soldier. Well, just above where we moved, we have a zombie Hulk, and we're going to move him 2 spaces. They can move 2. Let's move him in there with that foot soldier there, and then we'll advance this one down there as well. I guess trying to cover some of these empty territories, we'll move some foot soldiers out. Maybe move this hero, this one. I have to look and see what he is. Okay, he's a Wraith Warlord. That's one of our fighter pieces. He can move 2 spaces. Maybe I'll move him down. No, I'll keep him at the capital, and I'll just move down another foot soldier there. We have another zombie, what was it? Zombie Hulk. He can move 2 spaces. Let's have him get over there to the coast if he can make it. So that'll be 1, 2, bringing some backup there. Kind of zooming back in the area of the capital, I think I will move that hero. I think I'm going to have him go to the dungeon where he can explore the dungeon, and then joining him there I'm going to move this wizard down and put that wizard on the dungeon tile with him. So there we have our Wraith Warlord and an evil wizard attempting to enter the dungeon and defeat the monsters inside. Up here, all the way up to the top of the board, we have our dragon. I took a moment to look that dragon up and it just said black dragon. So just a black dragon. Dragons are a flying unit and can move 3 territories. So let me think about where I want him to go. I guess I'll have my black dragon fly from that space and go 1, 2, and 3, and I'll land him here with this monster and this enemy foot soldier over there. So they're going to be a battle right there. I think to help out with this battle, I'll move the hulking zombie in there with them. Up in this area, I think I'll advance my foot soldier and siege engine and maybe take a couple of foot soldiers over this way. Back in this area, you can see the dragon over there, right there. I'm going to move this storm elemental. This can move, let's see, a storm elemental can move 2 spaces. I'm going to move its first step there, and I believe that storm elemental can move, yes, it is a flying unit. It can move over land or sea. I'm thinking about having it maybe hold its position there, kind of a defensive position to keep any ships from trying to get in closer to my capital. And then, I guess, because I really don't know what I'm doing yet, I'll end my movement there and see if I can make any progress with these battles. Let's take them one at a time. Will only heroes, fighters, and wizard types, not the foot soldiers, but fighters and wizards, can enter a dungeon. And I believe I heard that it was recommended that you try to complete these dungeon quests first. So let's take a look and see what we're up against. The name of this dungeon is Vault of the Drow. And let's see what monster is in there. This was a random draw, and I think that's pretty fitting. Mind Flayer. So it's going to be rolling a D8 and a D12 against us. Well, I have a, what is it, a Wraith Warlord and a Wizard. The Wizard has first strike. And if I go to my reference card to see what dice the Wizard will roll, I find him here. The Wizard is rolling a D10. A 10-sided dice, and he's got first strike. So let's roll for the Wizard first. We're going to take a red D10, and we hit on a 6 or higher. And we got it exactly. So what that means is the Mind Flayer will lose one of these dice. And typically you would lose the weaker die first. So in our next battle here, we're going to be fighting the fighter. And let's see what the fighter uses. The fighter's also going to use a D10. The fighter is going to be going up against the Mind Flayer's D12. And that's much better than having to go up against a D8 and a D12 at the same time. So, a D10 and a D12. The fighter versus the mind flayer. No hits on either side. So now we get to choose to retreat or press the attack. Well, I say we press the attack. The wizard will attack again with first strike, and we got another hit. So that will take off the Mind Flayer's second dice, which is basically the Mind Flayer's second hit point, and kill it. So we get a gold piece for defeating the Mind Flayer. That's taking one of these tokens and adding it to our bank. And then I believe we get to draw a treasure card. And this is not shuffled, so I will just pull a random treasure card. And we found a Horn of Blasting. You can play this at any time. And it says score 1 hit at the start of a battle against a space containing a castle. The space's controller decides how to take the damage. Okay, so score 1 hit at the start of a battle against a space containing a castle. So I guess anything within that space could be the one to take the damage. But when you play this card, you've earned yourself 2 victory points. So we'll hang on to that and use it later. Well, let's head south from there and start with some of these other battles. Why don't we take the one here with the hulking zombie and the foot soldier against the elven archer. Really, when you play this game, you would roll these dice at the same time. But we're going to take a D6 for the skeleton warrior, and then we have the zombie, which is a monster, and that's going to roll a D12. So let's roll those. But we understand that a 6 or higher hits, and they could potentially take each other out. So, strangely, the hulking zombie is not the one to do the damage, it's the skeleton warrior. So we have a hit there. Let's put that up on top, representing the offense. And let's roll a d6 for the elf. Let's use our cup. And the elf rolls a 2. So the elf is wiped out. No damage to the attackers. So there we go. That elf is off the board. And now that is a captured territory. So we get to take a token here representing our undead kingdom and put it there. And that will earn us, I believe, 1 victory point. Well, victory points are counted over here on the side. And that's ultimately how you would win. And let's move the undead marker down 1 space, indicating they've earned their first victory point.